Hello and welcome to Subbies TV. I'm your host Ninja. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we're going to have a pretty good show today. There's been some massive scores over the weekend and we're going to go through them with my awesome panel. We've got a small panel. Slammer's away doing something, but we've got a smaller panel today. But we're joined Brady from Campbelltown, club captain.
Thanks for having me, Ninja.
No, thanks for being on the show. And I'm also joined by Pepsi, who's from Petersham, the Colts coach, and also the Subbies rep manager. So welcome.
Always happy to be here, Ninja.
So Brady, we'll start with you first, mate. What's your background?
Oh, mate, I'm a one-club man. I've played at the Harlequin since I was 10. My uncle rung me up one day and said, if you come down and play on my side, I'll give you $10. Never seen the $10, but I'm still there playing, and I've been club captain for the last 4 years.
So technically, I guess we could say you've been paid to play.
Yes, technically.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I haven't actually because I haven't got the money, so.
Right, it's the contract's still waiting.
Yeah, so if you're watching this, Uncle Noel, I want my $10.
And Peps, you're with Petersham now. What's your background, mate? I'm sure it's long.
That's only because of age, Ninja. I spent 20 years at Blacktown Rugby, of which I'm a life member and very proud of. The last 3 years I've been with Petersham Rugby, and made the move in 2011, my first year there.
Yep.
Also involved with an organisation called Deadwood Rugby,
Yep.
which is an invitational team put together by a guy called Scott Podmore. And we raise money for children's cancer research at Westmead Hospital.
Oh, fantastic.
So play tournament footy, win some cash, and
Bondi
donate to the kids. Bondi 10s, unfortunately, beaten by colleagues the last two grand finals, but the boys are in there swinging, and hopefully next year we'll get up.
Oh, fantastic. Well, hey, that's a good cause. So Deadwood Rugby.
Absolutely, yep.
Do you get out there and run?
I actually earned my number. Everyone gets to sign their own number. So we've got numbers 1 to 100. I'm number 50, and I played a magnificent 3.5 minute cameo at Mudgee Sevens, and some of the boys are still laughing hard about it. Only bloke in the world to trip over his own boots on a kickoff.
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
Alcohol, nothing to do with it.
All right, guys. Well, we'll get into the show very shortly, but we're going to throw, of course, to Emily Barker with this week's Weekly Wrap.
Thanks, Ninja. Well, hello and welcome to the Weekly Wrap. It's been a huge week in rugby. We've seen massive scores across the divisions as teams do everything they can to stay in the hunt. Division 1 put on a show with all but one side scoring 20 or more points. The closest match coming from a near upset between Mossman and Beecroft, the Whales just edging out the Lions by 6 points. Moving to the table, and colleagues have finally moved into the top 4, joining Balmain, St Pat's and Mossman, while Drummoyne and Knox sit just outside. Division 2 had mostly expected results. Uni got a good 10-point win over Newport, while Petersham stamped its dominance over Linfield, winning 58-17. The table stays much the same as last week. The major shift is Linfield dropping to 4th. On to Division 3 now, and it was full of surprises. Hawkesbury Valley went down by 1 point to Briars, and Waverley played out a draw against Hills. But the biggest shock came from St George's 21-point victory over Hornsby. The win puts St George into 3rd behind Hornsby and Blue Mountains, while Hawkesbury Ag hangs on in 4th. Looking at Division 5, and another week of massive scores with only one close one. The game of the week went down to the wire, but Sydney Harlequins were too strong for the Vales. The table stays much the same. Sydney Irish, Redfield, Harlequins and Maccabee making up the top 4. Marylands and Roseville with good wins sit just outside, while the Vales drop back to 7th. Finally, looking at Division 6, and what a great weekend of rugby, Clovelly managed to hold off against Terry Hills in a 27-20 thriller. And Sydney Grammar managed to bounce back from last week's loss, beating Burraneer by 15 points. Looking at the table, and the top 4 are getting further and further away, with 4th place Chatswood 12 points ahead of 5th place Terry Hills. Clovelly remaining in top spot. Well, that's the wrap for this week. Back to you, Ninja, and have a great show.
Thanks for that, Emily. Awesome as usual. That's one of my favourite segments every week. Massive scores over the weekend, boys.
Huge. Especially in Div 1. I think there's only one team under 20 points.
That's right. I mean, colleagues getting a massive win against Hunters Hill. You know, Pat's putting on points against the Iggies. I'm actually surprised Iggies got 3 tries there against the Pats boys, given their year. But across all divisions, I think there's been some huge score lines. But looking at the tables, it's starting to tighten up, don't you think, Brady?
I do, indeed. I think the difference at the end of the year is going to be the bonus points.
Yep.
There's some in there with 3, and then got other teams with 6, 7. I think that's going to really separate the top from the bottom.
Now, you guys, Campbelltown went down on the weekend. Do you guys think you're you're a shot at finals, or are you just going to try and stuff people up?
Oh, we're going to try our best. I think it's do or die this week.
Yeah.
The boys performed well on the weekend, but it's pretty hard to compete with that Balmain side.
Yeah.
Who are helping out all the guys within their club.
Right. Fair enough. No, I think the top 4 in Div 1 is, it's very, very tight. Knox have just dropped out after this week, but you've still got Drummoyne, who's got a game in hand, and of course Pat's being strong and Balmain being strong. Mossman sitting at the top for the moment. It's going to be a tight finish.
I think it bodes well for a very healthy competition in Div 1 when you look at Beecroft even down there at 19 points.
Yeah.
And, for Campbelltown, 7 bonus points and 2 wins just goes to show how many games you guys have obviously been pretty close and only just gone down.
Beecroft played a really good game on the weekend. Mossman got the points in the end. No thanks to the ref. All year, I have not attacked the refs. I've stayed out of it and I've thought I won't touch it. But this guy was a joke. He's yellow carding guys for head high, but not yellow carding the other side. He's letting play go on when there's clear indiscrepancies.
Well, this is why we have referee assessors, Ninja, and they're there
Well,
at the games.
I would ask that they go
and
watch
talk to
this
people,
guy week in, week out. He should not be reffing under 5s.
So it was a good game and he should have seen it. Is that what you're saying?
Mate, I think Beecroft and Mossman would have walked away going, what the... Anyway, moving on. Div 2, Petersham sitting at the top there, but Brothers, of course, have game in hand. And
one of the games in hand is against us. Yep. So we've got back-to-back weekends coming up, starting with the very, very famous Petersham Ladies' Day and Back to Petersham Day on the 29th of June.
There you go.
So all and sundry are welcome and invited. So come on out and watch some cracking rugby because it is first to second. And then we back up and play them a week after for the washout away games.
Just quickly, who's your top 4 do you think coming end of the year?
Oatley is still there and thereabouts. When we played University of New South Wales the other week, good team. We actually put some points on them late, but they're a solid squad. But I think Shammy's Brothers, Forest, Linfield, Oatley is going to be out of those guys in Div 2.
Fair enough. And then we'll quickly look through Div 3. I think Blue Mountains have almost secured their spot. I think Hornsby, St George looking quite good, but you can't count out Hawkesbury Valley, who are sitting in 5th at the moment. And those boys are a tough bunch of boys, so they'll be fighting on. And I think these next couple of weeks it's going to wither out, and might come down to those top 5 sides.
Knowing a few guys at the Hawkesbury Valley Club, they're absolutely filthy on the loss to Bryce, but more power to Bryce. They stood up, they got counted. Another ex-Petersham boy playing first grade 9 for them, Dave Walsh. Hey, Walshy. Apparently had a cracker of a game for an older fella and really led him from the front and got him over the line. But Hawkesbury Valley there and thereabouts, and some quality players, some quality team. So they should be up there when it counts. But Blue Mountains, I think, are definitely the team to beat.
Absolutely. And then Div 5 looking very close as well. And there's so many teams that are still involved there. And then Div 6, it's almost signed and sealed. The top 4 sides there have got a big break from Terry Hill sitting in 5th. They're 12 points behind, so Div 6 might even be wrapped up in the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
So some awesome rugby to come over the following weeks, and of course the end of season is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Right, guys, well, let's take a look at the games of the week quickly, giving our opinions. Div 1, we've got Balmain versus Mossman for the game of the week this week. Who do you think?
I'd love to see Mossman win, but I just can't see him being any match for the checkbook of Balmain.
Jeez.
It's going to be pretty hard to beat.
I tell you, there is nothing like character assassination, but Balmain at home. I think they'll be tough, but it just should be a cracking game of rugby. So if I wasn't busy on the weekend, I'd get out there and watch it myself.
I'm biased, so I'm not going to comment, but I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really close game. 100%. Balmain's going to be tough to get over, but Mossman, playing good footy. Div 2, Forest versus Linfield. Who's your thoughts there, Peps?
Forest Linfield. We played Linfield last week. Very, very well structured side. Good quality backline. Good bunch of guys on the forwards. Tough. If Forest at home, probably just get the money.
Yep, I remember playing Forest. Did you play Forest as well?
Yeah, I played Forest at home. Always tough at home.
Yep. No, I think Forest they've got a good run on, so they'll take that one out. I think Linfield's going to drop off, and I'm not sure if they'll make the 4, but they'll still be. That's a do or die game for them. Div 3, we've got Hornsby versus the Blue Mountains. Now this is going to be a cracker. Mountain Boys.
Tough game. Very, very tough game. First versus second. So,
Yep.
yep. I think it's a coin toss. Hornsby at home.
Hornsby at home.
I'm going to go Blue Mountains. They're on top for a reason. Their differential shows they're the better team, and yeah,
Yep.
I'm going to pick them for that.
I think Mountain Boys as well. They're just tough boys. Like, they just know how to grind out a win and put on some big hits.
And they love a bus trip.
They do enjoy a bus trip, don't
doesn't?
they? I'm sure we'll get plenty of photos from this one, boys. So send them through.
Thanks, Chris, for not last year, the year before, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You're just using this as your personal greetings
no.
to all
Well,
your mates. You don't have Facebook, do you?
Very.
Get involved, Pepsi.
No, it was just a lovely. It was the wet and wonderful hand of friendship was extended, and I got the Blue Mountains bus home from Petersham, and we'll just leave it at that.
They love their port. All right, Div 5, we've got Marylands versus Maccabee. This is also going to be obviously a big game. I'm not sure who will get the points out of this one, but I'm thinking Maccabee will just be too strong.
I would agree. Again, based on the differential in points, they just obviously know how to score tries and obviously know how to defend them as well.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
I'm going to go against you two boys. I'm going to go with Marylands.
You'd do that, wouldn't you, Brady?
I would. They got some pretty big boys. They hit pretty hard, and
Yeah, but we'll see how well they travel.
Yeah.
that's true.
And Div 6, this is almost game of the week. Dundas Valley versus Clovelly. Now, Dundas has had a pretty good season. Clovelly sitting at the top. Just an exhale, big exhale.
When you've got a differential of 232 points and you've got 6 bonus points, I'm thinking Clovelly not only know how to play the game of rugby, they know how to score a lot of tries. So I'll be tipping Clovelly.
I think they might just get ahead on Dundas as well.
I'm with Peps there on that one.
Yep. No, fair enough. Well, best of luck to all the sides that are picked for Game of the Week. I'll be out there watching the Mossman Balmain one, and there's going to be some crackers, and it's really going to break up the top 4, I think. So, best of luck, and we're going to have a quick break, and then we'll be back with our panel discussion.
The Bunker Studios in the heart of Sydney's CBD is a unique production space that specialises in producing online video content. Your audiences are 5 times more engaged, and they are 85% more likely to buy products and services when you have video on your site. So whether you need small video campaigns or want to produce a live event that can interact with all your database, contact the Bunker Studios or visit our website.
Hello and welcome back to Subbies TV. We're loving it on the panel today. I've got Brady from Campbelltown and Pepsi from Petersham. Boys, into the panel discussion now. On the New South Wales Subbies Facebook page, they put up questions every other week, but one that's come up recently that's quite interesting is how teams start in Div 1 and they might drop down the following year, and then they seem to just go. Why do you think that is? Is it a lack of players? Is it that they initially because they can't compete that year and they drop down and then they just don't want to keep going? Numbers, what's your thoughts? I mean, Campbelltown, you guys almost went to the Illawarra comp this year, wasn't it?
There was talk of it, but it got knocked on the head pretty quickly.
Yep.
I think it would have been a step backwards for us.
Absolutely.
And we decided to stay here where the better rugby is. And yeah, I think lots of teams, they just don't quite have the support base within their club. You need a good, good committee, someone that can, support. And when teams win the grand final, lots of guys, they hang up the boots too. So it leaves a big hole in your teams.
Yeah, true.
Well, one of the teams highlighted was Dundas Valley. Early 2000s, Div 1, won Kentwell Cup. They're now Div 6 with one team. I mean, I think they've got a backup Halligan side, maybe, but
Yep. Again, 20 years of Blacktown, we used to see teams come up and down. Ourselves, we started in Division 3, made it up into Division 2. The amount of sides that came in and out from Div 1 back down to Div 2, back down to Div 3, back into Div 2. It's just up and down. It's very, very cyclic amongst clubs. And I think, to Brady's point, you've got to have that really good quality support base. You've got to have quality sponsors, you've got to have a quality committee. And more to the point, you need to actually have a base where you can draw from to get quality players come to your club. Now, as Brady said, teams win grand finals, especially in top divisions, lower divisions. They hang the boots up. So all of a sudden you've got a void of quality experienced personnel who are no longer there. And then how do you replace them? And where do you get the guys to come into your club?
And I think also that there's the point made that some teams, there's about 3 or 4 clubs in a really, like someone mentioned, a 15k radius.
Yep.
You've got 4 clubs vying for players in that small radius. That's hard to get numbers. But, what if those clubs were to come together? That's ruining a lot of history.
Yep.
So it's a hard thing. You could easily make up some more teams if you were to combine clubs, but
In days gone by, again back in Division 3, you had Wentworth Full Club and you had Northmead.
Yep.
They combined to become Cumberland.
Yep.
And within 2 years they were gone.
See you later.
So I'm not saying that it wouldn't work, but the problem that you have with combining clubs is you've got different chains of thought, you've got different committees, you've got different people, you've got different ideals, you've got different history. And to amalgamate all of that, to actually make it work,
Yep.
is a massive undertaking. And it's a lot of people lose sight of the fact that with Subbies Rugby, it's volunteer work. It's voluntary
Yeah.
work. People use their own time to do the work. You know, and it's a massive ask to sit down and continue things and keep things going in a straight line in one direction.
And that's where you need that good admin. You need someone
100%.
that's willing to drive. I mean, Campbelltown, you boys have your 5th grade's Liverpool, is that correct? Because that's the other thing. Higher grades, higher divisions, you need to field more sides. It's a requirement. So
Correct.
Well, our 5th grade is, lots of them are guys that played here previously and they went over to
Right.
Liverpool, and then lots of them come back, and then we've mixed them in with some of the players that we've got, and they're now our 5th grade who
Yeah.
are doing pretty well at the
How do you
moment.
find it out west? Because you're competing with soccer, you're competing with league. You know, I mean, and that's across the board. That's not just out west. It's everywhere, really. But in particular, league must be.
That's where we try to create that real sort of family culture and a real camaraderie to make guys want to be there.
Yep.
It's pretty hard to have a team if guys don't want to be there. You know, it's just the social side of things that keeps guys there, and that's what brings in more people, I think.
Yeah.
We've got such a big area too, which sort of works to our advantage, even though there is these other sports. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, the
I mean,
social side of things.
It's also the age-old discussion that people have, and right now you've got AFL throwing millions of dollars in the western suburbs, and make no mistake about it, they are throwing millions of dollars in the
Yeah.
west. Rugby
Throw
leagues
it
out
our
there
way.
being active. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Australian Rugby Union, New South Wales and also Queensland Rugby Union have to look at the grassroots level of rugby. Do you want to be involved in
Fact.
it? Do you want to put money into it? And do you want to get off your ass and actually do something about it? And right now, I'm saying the answer is no.
Yeah.
Because it's just not happening
Reverse
to the level that it
pyramid,
needs to.
it's all the money's at the top. They don't want to filter it down.
100%.
We've got to get that sort of. All right, guys. Well, we're going to move on to Media Madness. It's that's it. Like I said, we'll throw that on our Facebook page. That little topic and start the discussion. But it's a hard one. I know. Once you drop down to Div 2, a lot of teams just keep going. But good admin definitely helps. All right, guys. Well, Media Madness time. We've got some great photos sent in. This is actually some Campbelltown boys.
Yep.
So we've got our first photo here. This is you, Brady, isn't it? In
Yes,
the,
it is. The Lego Superman.
So you boys had a superhero theme.
Yeah, the boys have been asking for one all year, so that was the first thing.
Have
that
a
come
look
off the
at
top of my
Robin,
head.
isn't he in touch with his feminine side?
We have
That
a
is a
sexy
worry.
Robin outfit there also. That doesn't look so sexy.
That is a worry. Now this guy didn't get the memo about the theme, obviously.
Which one's that?
William Wallace.
Oh, I'm not sure if it's William Wallace or Margaret Thatcher.
I was going to say Margaret Wallace or William
Margaret
Thatcher?
Wallace, if
One
it's
of
their
the
love
two.
child.
Oh, that's
I think it's more of a villain, that one.
Here's our next photo. Now this is an injury. One of your first grade boys.
Yep.
Got to learn how to duck, champ.
What happened? He doesn't know.
He doesn't know what happened. I'm not surprised.
Wow. And another injury here. This is one of the rep boys, actually. Paco.
Glenn Packer.
Yeah.
Glenn
Oh,
Packer.
that looks like a chaff bag. Fantastic.
That looks like a Pepsi hit. Didn't you knock your head the other week?
Nah, hints and allegations, Ninja. It's just, the second charge was never proven.
And here is Sean Henry from Balmain. Now, he actually has played his 150th game for Balmain, so big congrats to him. And they gave him a kick, a conversion attempt.
to get off the ground.
They said it went through the middle of the posts, so we'll
You
give
were
him the
there.
benefit
I
of
was
the
there.
doubt.
And did it?
I was there. It
Benefit of the
wasn't a
doubt.
bad kick.
Most cap player for Balmain since they've come back in into
in their recent history that only started
recent
6
history.
years ago.
Yeah, so 150 games, great effort. And this is Dunn's doings. Dunning's doings. We've got a little pic. Now, this is an old pic of him, obviously, but he's become
He
their...
looks 30 kilos lighter.
but he's become their coach. He's hung up the boots and he's helped coaching now.
Good on him.
So good on you, Dunning, and that's an old school shot, but looking great. Now we've got a video sent in. This is actually from the Mossman Rugby Club on the weekend. This is one of our coaches who they set up a couple of tables and poured some water and beer and everything else across it, and thought he would slide across it, and it was genius until this happened. So have a look at this. He gets plenty of air and just breaks the tables.
Oh, ouch.
Breaks the tables. Now, there was two coaches that did it, and that's Troy, and that was also his anniversary night. He brought his his missus across.
That's romantic.
Yeah, very romantic.
Who said romantic?
beers and pizza at the clubhouse
Fantastic.
and watching me break a couple of tables.
There
So
should be more of it.
Love to
well
see
done,
the chivalry.
Troy. Well done, mate. And now each week you guys probably have heard me talking about the aspirational side.
Yep.
It's a side I've wanted to start, and you know, we've got the rep side, and that's good and all what. And you go up to Queensland and win. Good on yous. Aspirational side, I've got some nominations. They've finally been sent in to us. So we'll go through them here. We've got our first guy is from Redfield Old Boys, Julian. Now, I've got a little bio. He plays in their second grade, but they've got 2 grades down there. He once was a winger. He's now a second rower, basically due to his skills, his skill set. You can see the photo there that he's getting outrun and someone has to cover tackle him for him. He's also, if you've seen all the videos from Redfield Old Boys that they put up, those music videos, he's one of the brains trust behind that. So he's a nomination for the aspirational side, and I think it's well deserved. He's a clubman. He's a second rower.
But which position do we put him in the aspirational team? Do we put him on the wing or do we put him in the second
versatile
row?
now, isn't
Maybe
he?
on the bench as a utility.
He can play anywhere. Impact player off the
Versatile.
bench, you think?
Now, we've got our second guy here. This is fantastic. Now, when I say send through a bio and give us a heads up about, you know, what you've done and why you should be in the side, this is what the guys, he's put it in himself. He's, much to his delight, has finally had to put it in because the guys were pressuring him. Now, he said he protested that, of course. He's been with the club for 5 years, and 3 of those years were with Colts. He managed to start 2 games and 3 appearances from the bench over those 3 years. After making his 4th grade debut in round 1 of 2012, he dislocated an elbow. So we've actually got a photo of that just there, which looks disgraceful.
Oh, that's nice.
And that ruled himself out for the majority of the season. When he came back, he played Halligan's. First round back the following year, he actually started with 3rd grade, dislocated his shoulder. So
his
he's
name's
gone.
not Lucky, is it?
He said he's played over the 5 years, he's had 30 caps, he reckons, 20 of which were with Halligan's. He's manned the barbecue more than he's been on the field. He helps with the newsletter. The guy's a legend. That's clubman. That's a nomination. That's fantastic.
100%.
So well done to Nick from Uni of New South Wales, mate. So
With
that's
that many injuries, I think we can put him down as a physio and first aid officer.
Actually, one of the highlights of his career, he said he has made the 1st grade debut on the boat team. So he's always in the boat racing team each
That's an
week.
important game.
Now, this
Absolute
third guy
clubman.
here is a new player to Mossman Rugby. I'm actually in the background of that shot.
Oh,
Gave him a
Look
short
good,
ball.
Ninja.
I tell you what, and how long after that did he wake up after he got cleaned up,
He
Ninja?
got dusted up, I'm sorry. Otavio from Mossman Rugby now. He's from Brazil. He is a legend. Absolute legend. He stays around from the start of 5th grade right through the 1st grade. He'll help set up the field, pack down the field, take photos. He comes to all the club events. He posts online when he's going to any rugby match and puts where he's seating just in case
Someone wants to come and have a beer with him, yep.
He is absolute clubman, and so I've nominated him for our team. He comes off the bench each week, and he's a winger and absolute legend. So Otavio, you've been nominated as well. So we've got 3 nominations for the aspirational side. It's building. I can feel it. Maybe you can manage the aspirational side, Peps.
I would love to. I think a first order of business would be a get-together somewhere at a very quiet hotel where we can have a bit of a chinwag and a bonding session,
That sounds perfect.
and we'll start from there.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for all the videos and photos for this week. And, of course, the nominations for the aspirational side, you can send those through to rugbystuff@subbiestv.com.au. We love getting them, so send them through to me, and I get to read them out.
Fantastic.
And honour those guys that are clubmen. Now, we've got some club announcements for this week. This one's for my grandma. She turned 90 on the weekend. It's her 90th birthday, so I'm giving a shout out to my grandma. So, happy birthday. And I think she was actually, back in the 40s, I think she was a 5'8", I'm sure of it. I'm positive she's about this tiny, about that small, 90 years old. So, there you are, Grandma. Keep kicking for another 10 years and we'll get that letter from the Queen. Or King, whatever it might be.
Probably going to be the king by then.
Next one is Sydney Irish. They've got their charity cycle. I say it every week. It's starting on the 22nd, I believe. So we are days away from it, but you can still donate or get involved. You can go to heartsinunion.com.au or donate via givenow.com.au/heartsinunion. So get behind that cause. It's for injured players funds. There's 2 charities involved. Both great causes, great charities. So get behind the Sydney Irish boys, and also hopefully we beat the Lions this weekend. First
Be
test.
a great start.
Come on, Wallabies. Holding Spits every Friday. Matt Holding puts it out on the Fridays. You've got to jump on the New South Wales Subbies website to see the best of the week. He's got tweets, he's got his jokes, and all the best reporting you'll ever see. So he does a good job, Matt Holding. So make sure you support him and jump on the website every Friday. And of course, if you want to become a sponsor of this show, we are more than welcome to talk to you and we can work out something. Maybe you can put a massive poster behind us, whatever you want. I'll wear a shirt. Just get in contact at info@subbiestv.com.au and you can become a sponsor. Whew, club announcements done. That was easy.
One more.
One more.
Only one more. Friday the 5th of July, for all of you out there in Subbies land, the Petersham Rugby Club at British and Irish Lions Luncheon.
There you go.
We have got a magnificent lineup.
Yep.
For this function, we've got Frankie Sheehan, Shane Williams, Sean Holly, Mick Galway, Shane Byrne, and our very own Jim Williams and Pat McCutcheon. Cracking day. It's going to be at the Crystal Palace at Luna Park. So jump on the Petersham website. All the details are there. Tables are filling fast. It will be an absolute crackerjack of a day.
And next time I'm sick, Pepsi's going to be the host by the looks. Look at that. How about that? Fantastic, guys. All right, well, last thing of the day, we've got our Dark Horse. So Dark Horse this week is going to be Division 3. So we'll take a look at that. We've got Hawkesbury Valley versus Waverley. We've got Hills versus Epping. We've got Blacktown versus Briars. We've got Hawkesbury Ag versus St George. Hornsby versus Blue Mountains. Pick one, boys, and we'll start with you, Brady. Who's your Dark Horse?
I'm going to go Epping, bottom of the table, get their second win of the year. They've got a few bonus points.
Over Hills.
Over Hills, yep. It's a big one, but
That's a really big one. Yeah, okay. Epping
everyone likes
over
an
Hills.
underdog.
Love the underdog. Who have you got, Peps?
I'm going to pick Blacktown, my old club. They actually got on the winners board last week, first, second, and third grade, first time this year. So well done to the boys. And they've got Briars, so I think Briars will just be a little bit too cocky after getting over Hawkesbury Valley.
Okay.
So Blacktown, and let's see the boys keep going.
You know what? I'm going to join you on that one, Blacktown, just because you're on the show. I think Blacktown can get up,
Ginger.
and it's a home game as well. So best of luck, guys. So Epping, Blacktown. That's it. All
So
right.
there we go next week.
Just go out there and win for us, boys. Thank you, because I need better percentage, because I'm woeful at the moment. Woeful. Baronier helped me out last week, didn't you? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. That's it for the week.
Pleasure's
Brady,
all
my pleasure.
Best of luck with the rest of you with the Campbelltown boys, and we'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks. We've got a bus trip. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah,
Might even go to Hooters after, eh?
I might just prepare my liver now, shall we? And Peps, thank you, and congratulations, of course, with all your work with the Subbies website.
No, fantastic. It's been an honour and a privilege being part of Subbies, so
Yeah.
looking forward to it. So.
No, we love you, mate, and
Fantastic.
also good luck with your Colts, boys.
Yeah, the boys got back on the winners page last week, which was nice. Hopefully we can continue this week against St Ives, but it will be tough. So
Fingers crossed. All right, boys, thank you again, and thank you for watching this week. I hope you have great fun this weekend with your rugby, and until next week, enjoy your rugby.